Okay, I got the foundation poured for this guy right there, and then I did this. This looks really messy. I don't even know how this will turn out. Okay, guys, it's a little rough. I have to come back over with our sandpaper, but it's not really 100% dry. And over here, we did this foundation as well. I just pulled off the paving tape. It's easier to pull off when it's still a little damp. Thank you. Okay, I'm cutting up the holes to run some electrical for. I got 2 wires coming through. I have one for over here. I have to do a street light I'm going to put right there, and I'm going to put one right over here. I want to do this landscaping light, but I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it. So I still have to cut 3 more holes, but I got to figure out the sizes. Might have to sand a little bit more, but it's really pretty clean here. There's that light. Let's check it out. So this is the little gravel parking lot. I etched this in. We're going to have a building here. You're not really going to see this line or this line, but I have it just in case. Building up the gravel road, but we also have gravel on the side. So I'm mixing in, I had purchased this gravel stuff here. It's called Buff. But I'm also intermixing in some of my ballast, gray ballast, and I also have a sandy color, and then I'm also intermixing in some of the earth dirt as well. Good mix of stuff. You can see I've also added the weeds in there for now. Okay, so I'm doing the trailer park here. So the areas where the gravel are, where the trailers will be. Did some fine turf, some gravel, some ballast, and then some coarse turf. Several different colors I have now. The underneath of this one, so yeah, I have a lot of lighting. I'm actually going to be adding another light, a street light, and then I also have a light up car. Light up car is going to be up over here. Here you go, guys. So that's them lit up. And you can see it looks really, really cool. I got a couple of these new products just to play around with. These are called the floodlights. That's what I put in there is the floodlight. And they also have these little spotlights. So I got a couple to play around with. Just 2 packages. There's 2 lights per package. Or not. Now I noticed that the ones with the white do not power very well, these. Because these are much more milliamps than just these lights. So these stick-on lights or the nano lights, they can be powered by that really easily. But if you have these new ones with the black on it, these will power all sorts of buildings, but these ones won't. So it seems like this one has more milliamps than these. Now, these were a little bit more expensive than these. I remember when I got these were super, super cheap. And these ones were definitely more with the black. So I don't know if these must be the newer ones. Check it out. We got some of the stuff in here. I did put in the light pole. We still have to put the hole for the car. And just putting in some scenery. Got ballasting in here. But what I want to do is, there is some train tracks near me that have ballasting, but then they have tons and tons and tons of weeds and stuff right up to the tracks, even in the middle of the tracks. I'm going to get that kind of same look on this particular module where there's like a lot of overgrowth, even close and even right up to the tracks. And I thought this light had to be pointed towards the item it's at. No, it just has to be sticking up like that. So all that white stuff down there, we're going to have to paint brown and add some bushes or something around the light. But the light does work. See it? Now, we're going to be putting up this sign back here. I don't know if it's going to stand by itself. First, it's not perfectly lined up to where it's going to go. Something like that. And you can see it does light it up. So over here, I used some of the pull-apart static grass along with the coarse turfs and the fine turfs. Make it look really wild. But over here, what I did is I took some of the polyfiber. That's the polyfiber. And you can just rip off a small piece like this and get a lot of glue on it. And then when it's sitting in the scene, come back over with some coarse turf like this, and then you can make it look like It's really puffy with like a lot of wild grass. It's got a lot of, you know, three-dimensional character to it. Hey guys, so I had some of this, these are like pull apart static grass things, and they're supposed to have like this sticky stuff on one side, and I tried to put it down and it didn't stick, so I had to pull it back up and put some Elmer's glue down because it would not stay. So this is what it looks like. I put it behind the fence there. Oh my god, it's still coming up. I don't know how to keep it down. I put a lot of glue on there. It just keeps coming up. Yeah, it's like a grass stuff. I'll show you what the package looks like. Okay, so this is the product. It's a Woodland Scenic product. It's called Peel in Place Tufts, and it's supposed to have like this glue stuff on the bottom of it, but it did not really stick to, because I already had, as you can see, I have gravel and I have fine turfs, and this has all been dried for probably about a week or so, but yet it didn't stick to it. So just a little bit of Elmer's all glue on the bottom of it. Okay, so I added a couple of trees here in the foreground of this one. So you can see I got one here, very nice. These are very thinned out trees back here. Some JTT trees that I have. I had a couple of those that I got as well. 15 wood edge trees. I also have another pack. These here, you get hundreds of them. They're all kind of tied in there. They're called wired foliage branches, light green, and they're really, let me pull one out here. Here's one of them. They're about the same as the trees, except for a little bit bigger than the trees, and they have green foliage. So the ball trees are like this, where we have like a polyfiber on there, and then you sprinkle on some more. I did that with the bushes as well, with the polyfiber. So we do have some trees like this as well. Pine trees, by the way, are Woodland Scenic. So we have various different ones. We have Woodland Scenic, Scenic Express, JTT. I am not, and you can even build your own. I've seen a couple people show building them using wires, and even going out and getting some, you know, branches from your own yard. And now that the snow is dissipating here in the upper Midwest, we still have snow on the ground, but it's supposed to get 60 degrees next week, so maybe I can go out and get a couple branches. Okay, so you can see right here, these two. I put some glue in there, I put little holes in, and since they're wire, they're really easy to get in there. Puffy tree in the back here, so I call it the fluff puff. It's just like a puff ball tree. That's a Woodland Scenic one there, the fluff, puff ball tree here. I don't have them all in, but you can see here what's happening with the lighting back there. I still have, check it out, I'm putting a little bit more bushes in there. This is a skull where the drive-in theater sign is, so I took the whole back off, trying to hide the light. You can see that it's not fully hidden yet, but I'm blending in around the trees here with polyfiber. So this stuff here is your polyfiber, and I'm blending it in, and then what I do is I put some of these other things, the little coarser turf, on top of it. And yeah, so you can see I got some polyfiber along here. We haven't like fully integrated it. You know, you kind of have to do like what I have around this tree. So I put a small tree in there, but then I really wanted to put the bushes up in here, the stuff really overgrown in back of this trailer there. Okay guys, I think that improves it a lot. You can't see the little light. It's behind this big, I put a puffball tree in there, behind there. Looks like a lot of, it's right on top of the trailer, almost touching it, just about. But yeah, that big puffball tree in there does really, and it's really close to the ground, so it looks like there's, it's a bigger tree with lots of spread. Hey guys, here's a top-down shot. So you can kind of see what's going on over here. And some of the scenery and what I'm doing back here. Okay, I put in this one here. It's one of the ones I built. Unfortunately, a lot of the foliage of it fell out when I was trying to put it in. And I had to put this pin behind it because it started, see, it started leaning. It still's kind of leaning. It's not really right there. It's got a little bit of excess glue coming out. I had to twist it though and make sure it didn't hit the awning or the TV antenna of the one in front of it. So yeah, might want to even put one maybe in between these trailers or something. Okay, so there's my outline right here, and you can see I didn't adjust all the way down because I knew it was going to be cut off. Hey guys, so this is a video that I took on my e-bike, and I'm going to take this and turn it into a backdrop, but I'm really focused this on this part here. And so I've already traced it on over here. So the road will continue to go down into like a little of nothing. We'll have the trees in the backdrop, and then I'm going to paint the sky in there as well. So let's get so far with the sky. We can add some more clouds and stuff into it. We got to start adding the foliage. Okay, so you can see that I covered up a lot of the sky. I really liked what the sky was looking like, but I realized that my drive-in thing was a lot bigger. There's the road, so this kind of skews off, but yeah, most of the backdrop is going to be covered up with more trees and stuff, so we just have to make it look like you're only going to see a little bit of the foliage. To do all this is just two colors. It is Mars Black and Mid Yellow. It's like a mustard yellow. If you don't know, Mars Black has blue in it, so if you mix blue and yellow together, you get green. So that's how you get the black, the dark green, and the light green kind of mixed in. But this will look fine once it's all done, I believe. And if it doesn't, we can go back over and we can paint some more. It doesn't need to look fancy. This really needs to look abstract, and once it's in the scene, it should be. Hey guys, so here we go. This is the trailer park. Now, if you don't know, this one is a remake. This was originally in my other model railroad layout. I had the drive-in theater, and near the drive-in theater, I had the trailer park. It's like a real scene that was near my grandparents' house. And then there was a road, and off to the side were buildings, but the railroad track in the real version would have been off over here. It would have been off to the side. But with T-Trak, we have to kind of take a prototype and turn it more into a freelance just to make it look good. So I put the tracks in the front of the trailer park. So these are models that I had on my old layout. That one as well, and so is this one. That's the only new one I added. If you don't know, my last layout got destroyed from water damage, and so to be able to add the trailer park back to the storyline that I'm doing with these T-Trak modular layouts is pretty awesome. So I was also able to pick up all these models at Pfeiffer Hobby Supply. Now, one of them has some missing parts in it, and thanks to the guys at Barmill, especially Len, they sent me off a new box. Hey guys and gals, so if you didn't know, Pfeiffer Hobby had a big sale on a number of model railroad stuff. This kit here, unfortunately, came with a damaged part to a window. Then, these are the same kit right here, unfortunately. One of them had missing parts. This is the original kit that I got from Pfeiffer Hobby. So I made a small video, which I did not share with you guys, but I shared with Barmills and the hobby shop that I bought the stuff from. And Len over at Barmills had sent out the replacement parts for the whistle stop junction by just basically sending a new kit. And then the replacement part for this, and he found out that I was missing the instructions for the waterfront wheelies. And actually now, after looking at these instructions, I had so many extra parts. I didn't even realize what they were for, but it was cool to get the instructions. So I want to thank the guys at Barmills, especially Len. Thanks, Len, for sending that out. I did get it. So we do have the instructions for trackside wheelies. We have the replacement parts that were missing for the whistle stop junction, and the corrected one here for the shipping brewing company. Okay, we're gonna get all the lights working, but this back one here. I need to put diffusing film on the window, so it's really hard to tell, but there is a light on in there. But yeah, and then we have the little street light in the front, which lights up the tavern, which actually should be sitting back a little bit. Lights up the front because that one I didn't put a light in. But yeah, that one there is a light inside there. The problem is just because there's no diffusing film, you can't really see it. You can see it kind of bleeding underneath the front edge. But yeah, we'll have to fix that and put that film in there. These ones are looking good over here, and even the backlight. Now it is lighting up a little bit of the tree. I have an idea to get rid of that, but all in all, everything is lit up and it looks pretty good except for the one building, and we'll fix that. Guys and gals, this is the other one that I'm working on. I think I showed it to you a couple weeks ago. I still have a little bit more work to do. I did paint and etch in like the little sidewalk things, and I put in a couple stand-in buildings. Now this building is not going to be the permanent building there because it's too big, but I'm going to do a 3D print that's similar to that style building that will go in there. And I have a little bit of the passenger thing kind of laid out but not really done.